Hello, students. Good morning. Students, before we start the lesson, just take a moment and observe your surroundings. The food you eat, the clothes you wear, the house you live in. Everything comes from nature. But let me ask you something. Does everything in nature automatically become useful to us? No. Only when humans recognize its usefulness and have the ability to use it, it becomes a resource. For example, petroleum existed for millions of years, but it became valuable only after humans developed the technology to use it. Am I right? So, remember this one. A resource is created when nature, human knowledge, and technology come together. I think so. You have understood what is meant by resource. The next thing is nothing but classification of resource. To understand resources better, we classify them into different categories based on their characteristic. So based on origin, it is classified into biotic and abiotic. Based on exhaustibility, it is classified into renewable and non-renewable. Based on ownership, it is divided into individual, community, national and international. Based on development, it is classified into potential, developed, stock and resource. Okay, the next topic is nothing but development of resource. Now, let us think more deeply. If resources are so useful, why do we still see problems like poverty, environmental damage and unequal development? This happens because resources are unequally distributed, they are often overused and sometimes used without planning. For example, some regions are rich in mineral while others have none. Some countries consume more resources than others. It creates imbalance. This creates imbalance. Also, excessive use of resources leads to environmental degradation, pollution, and loss of biodiversity. So, what is the solution or steps we need to take to solve this problem? Nothing but sustainable development. This means using resources in such a way that our present generation needs are satisfied. At the same time, future generation can also meet their needs. For example, by saving water, using renewable energy, protecting forests. So it is about balance between use and conservation. Now, students, we just understood the idea of sustainable development, using resources carefully so that future generations are not affected. But let me ask you something. Is this responsibility only for one country like India, or is it for the whole world? Yes, it is a global responsibility because environmental problems like pollution, global warming, and resource depletion do not stop at country borders. For that only, to deal with this global issue, an important international conference was held in 1992 in the place called Rio de Janeiro. Okay, that is called the Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit. This summit was organized by the United Nations in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. What is the purpose of the summit? The main aim of the summit was to bring countries together and discuss about the environmental protection, sustainable development, responsible use of resources. This summit made countries realize something very important. Development should not harm the environment. Until then, many countries were focusing only on economic growth. But after this summit, the idea of balancing development and environment become very important worldwide. So in the summit, they have taken an important action plan. That action plan was called Agenda 21. Okay, what is in by Agenda 21? Agenda 21 is a global plan of action for sustainable development in the 21st century. It focuses on reducing environmental damage, use resources wisely, and to promote sustainable development, and it involves people at local level. Okay, it does not focus only on government. It also says local community, local government, individuals should actively participate in protecting the environment. These may look like small steps, okay, by saving water, by reducing the waste, but they are part of a global effort. So, students, what do we understand from this? Sustainable development is not just a concept in textbook, it is a global mission. From international summits like Rio de Janeiro to small actions in our daily life, everyone has a role to play. The next topic is about resource planning in India. India has rich in natural resources, but there is a major challenge. What it is? Resources are unevenly distributed. Some regions have plenty, others have very little. So, if we do not plan properly, development becomes uneven. First of all, what is meant by resource planning? Resource planning is a systematic process of identifying resources, using them efficiently, conserving them, and distributing them properly. Let me see the steps in resource planning. It is very important question, okay? Resource planning involves three important stages. First one it is identification and inventory. Okay, first we need to identify what resources are available, where they are located, how much quantity exists. This is done through survey and mapping. The second stage is nothing but developing planning structure. Next, we prepare a proper plan using technology, skilled people, policies, and institution. Because resources alone are not enough. We need the ability to use them. Okay. The third stage is nothing but matching with national developmental plan. Finally, resource use should match overall development goal. This ensures balanced regional development and equal opportunity. Why resource planning is necessary? Without planning, what will happen? Resources may be wasted, resources may be damaged, some regions may remain backward. So, planning ensures efficient, fair, and sustainable use. So, the next topic is about land resources. Now, let us move to land, one of the most important natural resources, that is nothing but land. Land supports agriculture, housing, industries, transport, but remember, land is very limited. We cannot increase it. So, we must use it very carefully. Okay. How the lands were splitted. It refers to how land is used for different purpose. India's land is divided into different category based on its use. Already I said in a word. Let I give somewhat brief explanation regarding that. First one is that forest land. It is the land covered with forest. The second thing is nothing but land not available for cultivation. It includes land that cannot be used for farming. It has another two subcategory. One is barren and wasteland. One is that land put to non agriculture uses. Barren and wasteland is nothing but rocky desert area. This land is not suitable for cultivation. Okay, so land put to non-agriculture uses nothing but these land can be used for roads, buildings, and industries. The third category is nothing but other uncultivated land, which means that this land is not cultivated but can be used. It contains another two category. One is that permanent pasture, which means that this land is used for grazing purpose. Okay, then land under trees and groves. Okay, the fourth one is nothing but fallow land. It is very important. Fallow land is land left uncultivated for some time. Why they are leaving the land for some time without doing any cultivation is nothing but to restore fertility. It is also of two types. One is current fallow, one is old fallow. Current fallow is nothing but they are leaving the land for 1 year. It might be for the to restore fertility. Okay. Old fallow is nothing but they are leaving the land more than a year. It may take more than 5 years. Okay. Or between 1 year to 2 year. Okay. More than 1 year. So fifth one is nothing but net zone area. Net zone area is nothing but it is the land actually used for agriculture. And this is the most important category of land for food production. Okay, so students, what do we understand from land utilization? Land is used for many purposes, not just only for farming. And proper distribution of land use is necessary for economic development as well as environmental protection. Okay, so now let us discuss a serious issue. What is that issue? Land degradation means decline in land quality. Okay, the reason for that is nothing but deforestation, overgrazing, mining, industrial waste, and over irrigation. So how we can conserve it? How we can preserve it? Okay, we can preserve the land by using afforestation, controlled grazing, proper irrigation, and waste management. Okay, So next, the soil is the foundation of agriculture. Without soil, we can't cultivate crops, we will not get food. So how the soil used to form? The soil used to form very slowly through the process of weathering of rocks. These are some factors: climate, vegetation and time. All this helpful for the formation of soil. We are having so many types in our types of soil in our India. Let we see one by one. India is a vast country, so naturally we have different types of soil. Let us understand each type clearly. The first one is nothing but alluvial soil. It is the most important and fertile soil. It is found in northern plains. It is formed by rivers like Ganga and Brahmaputra. It used to very rich in it is very rich in nutrients, and that is why this region is called the food bowl of India. So the crops such as that used to grow in this type of soil is nothing but rice, wheat and sugarcane. The next one is nothing but black soil. The soil is very special. It is found in Deccan Plateau. It is known for retaining moisture. Even during dry season, it remains useful. The crops it used to grow, it is best for the crops such as cotton. Okay, that is why it is also called black cotton soil. The next one is nothing but red soil. The soil gets its red color from iron. It is found in southern and eastern parts. It is not very fertile naturally, but with fertilizers it can be used for farming. The next soil is nothing but laterite soil. The soil is formed in areas with heavy rainfall. Nutrients get washed away due to rain, so it is less fertile. But when properly treated, this soil can support crops like tea and coffee. Okay, next arid soil. It used to found in desert region. It is sandy in nature and it has low moisture and low fertility. This soil used to found in Rajasthan. And the last soil, which is called forest soil, as the name itself says very clearly that it used to found in mountain regions. It used to rich in organic matter. It varies depending on location. Okay. The next concept is nothing but soil erosion. Now let us understand another major problem. What happens when the top layer of soil is removed? That is called soil erosion. Why is topsoil important actually? Topsoil contains nutrients necessary for the plant growth. That topsoil is removed means what will happen? Soil becomes infertile, agriculture gets affected. What are the reasons for the soil erosion? Wind in desert, okay, and water, which means that flood and rain, and the human activities referred to, which are called deforestation and overgrazing. Okay, now we have seen soil erosion. So for the soil erosion we need some solution, right? So to protect our soil we use several methods such as contour ploughing, terrace farming, strip cropping, shelter beds. These are some of the methods that used to protect the soil from erosion. First let me see contour ploughing. Ploughing along the slopes instead of up and down, this is called contour ploughing. It slows down water flow and prevents soil loss. Terrace farming we can see in the hill slope. It used to have steps. Steps are made on hill slopes. Okay, it reduces soil erosion and helps in farming, especially if you see this coffee and tea estate at all. Okay, strip cropping. Different crops used to grow in between the crops in the strip form. Okay, that strip is nothing but in line. Okay, in a line we can able to see this. It reduces the effect of wind and water. The next thing is nothing but shelter belt. Row of trees are planted because around the field. Why is nothing but because of the trees, it used to stop the wind that destroy the crops. Okay, rows of trees are planted. These trees act as barriers and reduce wind speed. Clear? So that is about the soil conservation. I think so it will be useful for you. You might have understood. Thank you. Let me see in another video.